Alrighty, so today was quite the day. It was not the best of days, but it wasn't the worst of days, and that's something really good. So today was super packed full of a lot of things. I woke up in a really good mood. I woke up like at 8 or 7:30, 7:45 around then. And I had planned on going out of town for today and then tomorrow for my birthday and coming back on Friday. And there was a lot going on last night. And there was a lot going on from Monday until now. That overwhelmed me in good ways, overwhelmed me in bad ways or negative ways. There was a lot of triggering that was happening going on, really from September until now, but especially this week in multitude of ways by a multitude of different sources and people. And it just kind of all hit me this morning. And I wasn't able to go out of town, and that's okay. I can still, do that tomorrow. It's not a big deal. And even if not, then I'm not going to worry about it too much. Maybe it's just not meant to happen, and that's okay because I can go on a trip, any other time. It's totally fine. Maybe I'm supposed to be home for my birthday. Maybe this is, happening because I'm not supposed to be going out of town. Maybe the universe is protecting me from something, But it was a very difficult day today for me. And I literally was just talking with someone earlier this week about how on social media we don't really share our negative experiences so much, and we just focus a lot on the positives, and how that creates a really false sense of image or perception on people, because then you assume that everyone's just doing great because they only post the great stuff. And I just wanted to, I'm not one to, and I don't think anyone really likes to focus on the negatives. I definitely do not. And I don't think anyone likes to, talk or speak on the negatives too much, because then you're kind of speaking them in existence. But I just want to share that a lot of, today was a rough day for me, honestly. But I cried, I broke down a little bit, and I did last night as well. But I still get back up, and I'm still fine. And it's still, even though it wasn't the best day, it wasn't the worst day. You know what I'm saying? There's always a positive and the negatives, and that's the positive that I'm taking, is that it was not the worst day ever. I'm still alive, I still have a roof over my head, I still have a bed to sleep in, and I still have food in my stomach, So, and those are all things to be grateful for. Even when things don't work out how we think that they're going to work out, even if things don't go according to plan. And that can be just kind of frustrating and challenging. But, again, it could be just happening for a reason. Maybe I was not supposed to be going out of town. Who knows, And yeah, it was just a day, and I was feeling myself being very overwhelmed. And I am someone already that I get overwhelmed very easily. I know this about myself, and that's why I've been working really hard on trying not to handle or take on too many tasks at once, because that is when I get overwhelmed. I can handle the most stressful situation ever if it's just one to three things. You know what I'm saying? If I keep my plate small, it doesn't matter how heavy it is. If I keep what's on the plate small, I can handle it. When there's a lot of things on my plate, that's when it's too much. It's way too much for me. It could be just a bunch of tiny things that maybe most people won't affect, but me having a multitude of things to focus on, I'm not good at multitasking. I know that. I work better on one task at a time. So I've been trying to practice not taking on too much, accepting too much responsibility, because I know that I am a responsible person, but I know the way that I work, and I don't work well when I have multiple things on my plate. So that's kind of just what really happened today, was that there had been multiple things, I think, being stacked on my plate since Monday, and since since September. And I've been trying to work through those things, individually as one, but then just it's almost like it's almost like as many things that had triggered me and been brought to my awareness since September till now, it's like it was like twice that amount, or like the same amount of things that had happened from September till now happened just from Monday till now, and it's Wednesday, it's 8:15 p.m. So it was just like a lot all at once, and I needed to take a break, so I went for a hike because I love being outdoors, and I feel like when I'm outside, I am someone that I need to, and I do try really hard to practice grounding as much as I can. And specifically for me, because I like to be active and I love to hike and I like to be outdoors, being outdoors is the best and easiest way for me to stay grounded. So I felt myself having, some stress and some anxiety, and then I was still trying to make the trip happen, basically, from like, I woke up at 8, I think I went back to sleep, and then I woke back up at 10. From like 10 to like 1:30, maybe around 2, I was still adamant, like, don't let like this stuff, because I was being stubborn, because I had been talking about this trip. I've been really excited, like, oh, I'm gonna go on a solo trip for my birthday, like I want to go somewhere, I want to be in the mountains, I was gonna rent an Airbnb, like I was like, I want to do all these things, and I didn't postpone it, but I had a lot of things, like I said, there's a lot of things going on that kind of just, I was just like, oh, I'll book it tomorrow, oh, I'll look tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow, and I kind of just put it off, and then and then I was like, still this morning, making myself even more stressed out by being so adamant about having to go on this trip today, having to go on this trip now, when maybe the universe is just like, hey, you have a lot of stuff on your plate, and technically it is your fault. It's your fault for not, it is my fault for not being able to have worked through some of these tasks that I maybe should have at a different time. And now, because I didn't, my plate is full, and I get overwhelmed, and now I don't get to enjoy, the thing that I was looking forward to. And I was so adamant on it, because I was telling myself, don't let these people and these situations that are getting brought up, don't let these things that are triggering you, don't let it affect you, and don't let it ruin your birthday trip, Andy. I was telling myself this today. That's why I was like so adamant. I was like, no, I'm still gonna go. And then just me trying to plan it this morning and also leave today, it stressed me out even more. So I was just adding to my own stress at that point. I was making things worse. And I was really struggling. So I was like, let's go take a hike. I literally was like, take a hike. Literally. So I drove. I went to go take a hike. Almost got in an accident on the freeway, which is great. And it's really scary, actually. And then I missed my exit like twice because I was so like frazzled by like the almost getting in a car accident. And then but then I still made it to my hike because I was like, this is what I need. I know that I need this. I know I just need to go outside. I just need to like clear my mind and not just let it go. Let it go and let it go in nature. Because that is the most healing thing to me. And yeah, I went on my hike and it was good. It was a good hike. And then I was like, I found a cool spot and I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's beautiful. Like the moon was up and I was like just soaking in the energy. And I just sat there for a little bit with myself and just, let my mind just clear out and let it all out. And then I was like, oh, I want to improv here. Like, this is a cool spot, And for those of you that don't know, I have injuries in my shoulders that are pretty bad and actually cause a lot of pain. And I was like, yeah, like, let me improv a little bit. I improved, like, maybe, like, max 20 minutes. My right shoulder is, like, shot. I literally was, like, I mean, every time I dance, I jack it up a little bit more. But it's just, like, I needed it. I really... and that's what makes it difficult too. It's like everything was just like another challenge, another obstacle. Because I was like, oh, I need to move because that is so healing to my soul. And that's what I needed today. But that thing that is healing to my soul is damaging to my physical body at this point because of my injuries. So it was hard. And then I went back. And then I was like starving. I realized I hadn't eaten all day. I was like, oh, Andy, take care of yourself. Come on, dude. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Pizza Rev. I was like, I haven't had pizza in so long. I was like, I love pizza. So I was like, I went to Pizza Rev, placed my order. It was kind of busy, right? It was really busy. And placed my order. I'm waiting, And then as I'm waiting, I see that they're really busy. I see that this lady is like full on like yelling at this employee in front of everyone, and like she's like, I've been waiting an hour, like where's my order, blah blah blah, like full on yelling. And then she was like calling, she's like, oh, so you lied to me because that worker told me that you guys put in my order in the oven, and now you just said you put in the order, like, oh, so you guys are liars. Like, she was getting so angry, and like they gave her like a thing for a free pizza and blah blah. And I'm just sitting there watching it, and I was like, ooh, that situation was making me upset, because I was like, I just think it's never a right situation to like yell at someone. It's never a right situation to talk down to someone, especially people that work in service. It's rude. And I was so tempted to stand up and go say something to this lady and be like, listen, chill the hell out, because you're literally freaking out over a pizza, you know? And it was her fault. Like, she waited a whole hour before she said anything to them. What? Like, that's low-key your fault. And I'm like, sis, like, have you ever made a mistake before? Because that's what they did. They made a mistake because we're human. We make mistakes. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, they're making an order right now. It's your fault for waiting a whole hour before saying something. Why wouldn't you say something after 20 minutes and be like, hey, just checking in. How's my order doing? You know, how much longer? Why would you wait a whole freaking hour before saying something? So she ended up waiting like an hour and a half or something, because I guess at that point she'd already been waiting for an hour, and she didn't get her food for like another half hour after that. And then she left all angry. And I was like, no, let me not bother, because I'm not in a good mood either. And I know myself, and even if I would go into it with the right intentions, with not trying to escalate the situation, I know I would most likely go off on this lady, and I'd be like, chill out, sis. Like, and I'd probably be a little nasty towards her, because she was being nasty towards this worker, and I felt really bad for her. And like, the employee was like, I could tell she was really stressed out, and she had like a lot of anxiety about this. She kept apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then this lady was just being so crazy. So then I waited like 25 minutes, and like Pizza Rev like usually takes like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you know? So I go up, because I'm not an idiot, no offense. And I was just like, hey, just wondering how much longer, like, you know? And they're like, what was your name? What was your order? And I was like, told them. They go check. The same worker comes up to me. She goes, I'm so sorry, but we lost your order. And I'm like, that's kind of annoying, but also there's no reason to get mad. Whatever, you know, I'll just reorder it. And she's like, can you just put in your order? We'll like do it again. And I was like, yeah, sure. And she gave me like a coupon for a free pizza next time. I'm like, cool, awesome, great. Problem solved. It's not a big deal. Nothing to get upset about. I'm not gonna be, I just watched what happened when the same thing happened to this lady before me, and how crazy she got. I was like, there's no need for me to get like that. I'm not gonna upset anyone. There's no need for me to be rude and nasty. So I was like, yeah, sure. Gave her my order. I waited like another 25 minutes. Order comes. They get all of it wrong, and I was just like, and normally, like, and I was starving at this point, so I was like, low-key, like, if it's wrong, like, I take it, but what it had, it had dairy in it, and I don't consume dairy, so I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I literally, I can't have this, like, I hate to be, you know, annoying, but I literally cannot have this. So they had to, she's like, I'm so sorry. And I said, I literally was like, no worries about it. Like, I literally was like, no big deal. It's no big deal. Like, I don't mind waiting. Especially because I was sitting there and I was like, I pray and I ask for the university to give me opportunities to practice patience. And I was like, this is great. I'm sitting here starving, hadn't eaten all day. It's been a really rough day. And not only did they drop my order, but then they messed up the reorder, so then I reordered again. And I was just like, this is exactly what I asked for. So I'm not complaining in any way whatsoever. And then I reordered my food second time. And then, you know, I ended up waiting a whole hour, maybe like an hour and 15 at this place. That usually takes like 15, 20 minutes. And like, I literally was just seeing people come and go after me, like getting their order. And it was great. You know, I got an opportunity to practice patience. And I came home, I ate, I sat down, I cried a little bit because it was a rough day, and the full moon is really, really affecting me heavily. It always does the week of, and I had like a really scary nightmare last night as well. With that being said, I had a crazy day. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. And at the end of the day, what can I do about it other than to just accept it and look at the positives? Like, I got to practice patience. I got to, even though I did hurt myself more, I got to improv. I got to release some of the stress and some of the anxiety that I had. And then now sitting down, reflecting on the day, I get to reflect and I'd be like, you know what? Maybe the trip didn't work out. Maybe these things didn't work out because they were not meant to work out today. And that's okay. So, we're off to a great start. I know that tomorrow will be a great day because it's my birthday, and I will make it a great day no matter what. Even if things like this happen, it's life, right? So that's just my little tidbit, just sharing an honest moment of me being real and honest. And this is just life. Some things work out, some things don't work out. Sometimes you don't have good days. Sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes you have emotional days. Sometimes you need to cry. Sometimes you need to go on a hike. Sometimes you need to sit and practice patience and observe what others do when they lack patience. You know, people get nasty. People get angry. And I got to choose. I literally had the same exact experience that that lady had. And we reacted in totally different ways. How beautiful is that? I think that that is so beautiful. That we all choose how we want to act. We all choose how we want to be in any given moment. We all can choose to be on the positive side or on the negative side. Everything is choices. So I could have gotten mad. I could have gotten nasty how that lady did. Did I have the capability to do that? 100%. Did I want to do that? No. Because that's not who I am. You know, like, why would I? Why would I? Why would I yell at someone and be nasty over them making a mistake? Over them doing what is just in human nature, is to make mistakes, because we are literally not perfect. And it is impossible for us to be perfect in this life as human beings. So, I hope that me sharing this, one, just inspires everyone to just share more real, honest moments like this, and maybe not always the most positive, you know, but there's always a positive found in everything, in all the negatives. There is light in the dark, and there's dark in the light. Always. Yin and yang, people. So yeah, this was me just sharing it, and I hope that inspires you to share more honest moments like this when things are not picture perfect, or, you know, social media perfect, how a lot of people on social media like to portray themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share that. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm still excited. I have no idea what I'm going to do anymore. I know I want to be outdoors, so I'll probably just go on a hike. I'll find like a new place, you know, and I'll go explore a new place. Maybe I won't go, you know, I won't get to go as far as I wanted to, but it's no big deal. Like I said, I can always take that solo trip whenever I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm very fortunate and grateful and thankful that I'm in an opportunity and place in my life where my schedule is very free to basically just do what I enjoy to do. So it's okay if I don't get exactly what I want when I want it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I feel like I'm just realizing what today's really teaching me is that you don't always get what you want when you want it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also understanding that I could still have this. I could still have my solo trip that I've been wanting. It just may not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. And technically, I did have a solo trip today because I spent it by myself anyways. Just wasn't exactly the way that I wanted it to. It wasn't exactly the way that I had planned to. And that's okay. That's okay. And I'm really proud of myself for actually genuinely being okay with that. Because I'm someone who has always had major control issues because of how who I was raised by. And I thought I had to be like that. I thought I had to act and live like that. And I don't. I don't need to have this need for control, to control my life in exactly the way that I want it to be. I don't need that, because that creates a lot of anxiety and stress for me, personally. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it does. And I do not want to live my life like that. So when these stressful things happen, I take a damn hike, I get over it, I cry about it, I release the emotions and the stress that I need to release, and I let it go. And I trust that I will still receive what I want when the timing is right. And that is just in itself a lesson of patience. I do still believe I will get my soul job. I will get exactly what I want and what I'm desiring when the time is right. And I just have to be patient. So that was it. Sorry, really long. I feel like I tried to end the video like 5 minutes ago. That's pretty much it. I hope that you guys are having a good night. I hope you guys are doing something for the full moon. I mean, technically it's tomorrow, but like you could celebrate tonight, I guess, if you want to, because a lot of people are. I usually do 2 nights anyways. I do the first night is like preparation really for like the main ritual for the next night. So tomorrow is a very powerful day. I'm not just saying that because it's my birthday. I'm saying that because it's 12/12/12, which is 333 in numerology. So it's a very powerful day, packed full of a lot of really intense energy in several different ways. It's The age, the decade that we are entering in is just so, it's going to be so different. It's going to be so different in the best way possible, and that's something that I am excited for, and that is something that I'm willing and more than willing to be patient for and to wait for, because it's going to be so worth it. So many people are going to grow and really open their mind's eye and expand their consciousness to things that most people have never been aware of. Tomorrow is going to be the starting date of a period of time where people are going to be more self-aware, going to be more in tune with themselves, and more in tune with the work that they need to do for their own personal lives, for their own personal journeys. And that to me also is something that is really beautiful. It's really, and if you pay attention, you can already see it, because I've been noticing in other people, there's so many people that are having these realizations that they've never had before. And that is so beautiful to me, because it tells me that we're growing. It tells me that we're changing. It tells me that we're evolving as beings, that we're learning the lessons, that we're not just going to keep repeating the negative cycles, that we're not going to allow ourselves to be restricted, confined, and controlled by belief systems that we've always had, that we can break through those things, and we can do it together. We can all break through the barriers that have been set upon us by others, or even restrictions that we've set upon ourselves with our own mentality. It's an age of breaking the chains, 100%. Clearing out the karmic debts, breaking through the cycles, entering the cycles that you want to be in, living your life how you want to live it, experiencing and having experiences that you want to have. And that is so beautiful. So beautiful. But anyways, I'm gonna go, because I'm going to watch a show to kind of calm down. I'll probably watch a movie too and take my little bath and relax and just unwind. I think I just need to rest, honestly. I feel like I give myself a lot of rest, a little bit of rest every day, but I think I need like a week of rest. That's honestly what this is telling me. I need a good amount of time for rest. I need a vacation is what I need. And I need to properly plan it ahead of time. And I need to also remind myself that it's okay if it doesn't work out. Because if it doesn't work out, it's because it wasn't supposed to. In that way. Doesn't mean that it won't work out, because I believe it will. Just wasn't today. And that's okay. All right, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.